On this week's episode of Motivational Minutes, inspirational speaker Steve Wohlenhaus shares why it's important to see the humanity in others and help those who are less fortunate. How does one move forward optimistically in a very difficult world as the one that we seemingly are moving more and more toward every day?
No, I mean that's a fantastic question, and it's a complicated one that entails a lot of moving parts. And I think first of all, defining what optimism is, in my opinion, might be helpful because there's the realist, who's the person that's maybe in a boat out on the water, who sees that there's a storm coming and that the engine has broken and now we need to figure out a way to get to safety, and that person might be overly realistic to the extent that that diffuses any optimism in that situation in favor of pessimism and this push toward, okay, this may not end well, but at least they're thinking in a way that's focused on solutions and moving in a favorable direction. The pessimist kind of just gives up. They just say, wow, these circumstances that are outside my control, they're so overwhelming. I have no idea what to do. And at a time like this, that's where a lot of people reside, sadly enough. And there's a lot of things that impact getting to a place where that's the case. Not each of us has a great start in life, starts from the same vantage point. There's a lot of things and it's complicated. That's why I say it's complicated. I'll give you an example. I had a 14-year-old young man from Nigeria reach out to me on Instagram probably 2 years ago. Dirt floor in his school, had a suit on though, and surrounded by classmates. And he said, "Sir, I want to be successful like you someday. You're amazing." And that kid just, I love the attitude, 14 years old, but I know in my mind what that young man is up against, which has so far removed from my reality, I can't even begin to comprehend it, but I sure try. And so he said, we started having a conversation on Instagram. And he goes, I've got a friend. I've saved up $50 and he wants me to invest in this thing. And I said, don't you dare do it. I'm going to teach you how to invest in yourself. And you're going to learn how to believe in yourself, trust yourself, rely on your wisdom. We're not buying into anybody else's elusive fantasy. We're going to learn to invest in ourselves. And so I'm happy to say that $50 that I taught him how to invest has multiplied considerably, but he did it all himself, you know? And so my point is teaching a person like that to be optimistic when your whole world around you says, man, this grind up this mountain, it is really high to the top of Mount Everest, and I'm here at ground zero. And so my version of optimism is based on this eternal belief that we are going to move forward, progress in a positive direction. I have the capacity to engineer that destiny as a product of all the blessings and gifts I have. But I'm also realistic. And I know things like COVID, pandemics, you know, all the things that we've all been dealing with come up. And those are unexpected realities all of us have to confront. But how are we going to finesse around those things and still stay optimistic but realistic? So it's kind of a marriage between those two that keeps me in a place at all times where I'm optimistic at all times about where I'm going, but I know the path is going to be erratic. And I've embraced the fact that that erratic path is giving me the valuable lessons each and every day that make me a better person, because adversity is one of our greatest teachers. And if we can get not overwhelmed, but enlightened through those obstacles, I'm telling you, it builds the confidence and the momentum and it just keeps us flowing forward.
Subscribe today for more inspiration on the go.